Hi guys, so I did this makeup a couple of months ago on my client. I was just going through my phone and I saw this video and pictures. I'm like, why not edit for YouTube? And yeah, well, just sit back and enjoy it. Prior to when I started off this makeup, I didn't think I was going to record it. So at this point, I was already done with skin prep. Like I'd done her skin prep already. And I'm like, why not record the process? Because I was already loving her facial features. I'm like, okay, you know what, record the process. So here I'm just correcting her under eyes using my MAC Cosmetics corrector. I'm using the orange and golden tone shade, just mixing both of them together rather than just using the orange. So I have like a peachy shade which works better for her skin, sort of just blend no, for a better coverage rather, you know and just to make sure that the orange color is not overpowering her skin tone. So that's why I'm going in with this golden tone shade, which is a corrector from the palette, just to further blend the skin. So I started off with the orange shade. You can see it on the right hand side. So now I'm just going over with the golden tone shade on top, just to give a seamless blend. Yeah, so while you're this, endeavor to use a fluffy brush. It could be like well, I would not say that's an eyeshadow brush, but it's soft and it's not hard. So here I went in with Lacome foundation in 450 and 420. I mixed the both of them together. And if you're new to my channel, I normally apply my foundation in moderation. So I'd like to start with little amount of foundation and blend it evenly into the skin, so you have like a skin finish foundation look, nothing so heavy. I feel like if when you apply it and you feel that the coverage isn't so much, you can go back and build it up, rather than going in with a whole lot of product. It just helps us maintain that skin that everyone keeps talking about. Just go in with little amount of product and blend that into the skin. Just work your way around it. Blend. You don't need to go in with so much product. And the camera didn't capture this, but by the time I was done with my foundation brush, I also went in with my beauty blender, which I always do. I always do that. Here I'm going in with the Tehila cosmetic is it cosmetic Tehila blush palette. That's the rosy cheek. Tehila is like a holy grail for me. Like I don't think I have ever done any makeup without the Tehila blush palette, except when maybe I'm doing like a PRO trying to use like another brand. But I would say this, they are not paying me. It's not an ad. They're not paying me. It's not an ad. But you see, Tehila blush palette is a must-have. Like I like the fact that it is not oily. The consistency is beautiful. It's buildable as well, and you can always just mix the blush palette. You can mix the orange with the red. That's if you're working on like a dark skin. You can also mix the brown. They have like a brown tone there. Just buy it. And if you're kind enough, you can just tell them that Arosa made you buy it. Like I know a lot of people that have introduced the Tehila blush palette to. It's amazing, and I'm not just saying it because I want to say it. If you know me very well on this channel, I would only just recommend things that I know work for me. I'm not the type that would want to just go with the trend. If a particular product works for me, I use it and I stick to it. So here we're using the Kevin O'Con. What was I about to say? We're using Kevin O'Con in 11, that's shade 11. So for me, I like to first just apply the concealer under the eyes first, and just spread it around the areas where I want it to be before blending it. This allows the concealer to dry up a bit, especially under the eyes. Like, how I would blend every other part that I just applied, like the T-zone, chin, nose bridge immediately, but that under eye is what I blend last. So I tend to apply my concealer under the eyes first, then blend last. So here I'm just blending it, and I'm trying not to like blend it out completely. So blend it in a way that you're seeing the highlight under the eyes. The concealer is you know popping, like the under eyes is bright, yeah, basically. So if when you blend and you still feel like the concealer shade is almost close to the skin type, the skin shade, just go over with another concealer under the eyes. You need to have that brightness under the eyes, not so much, just a shade lighter than her skin tone. So here I'm setting with my setting powder from I think it's Floor Bakery. Yes, Floor Bakery. So for setting, I normally use a fluffy brush. So this brush, it gives the vibe of an eyeshadow fluffy brush, but it's not an eyeshadow fluffy brush. Basically, it's thicker, fuller, it's human. It's like the goat hair, like it has more weight, so it's able to pick in the setting powder, and you just set first. So by setting first, you're just trying to absorb all of those liquid under the eyes. You're trying to set it so it doesn't crease before you now start baking. So setting and baking, the only difference is when you're baking, you go in with a whole lot of, not like a whole lot of, you go in with much more setting powder than you had originally done when you were just trying to set. So that's just the difference between setting and baking. So here I'm contouring, which is low light. I'm using the Iman powder in dark or it's deep, one of those, on her chin and the perimeters of her face, just to give more dimension and also warm up the face. You well looking at having a sculpted face, basically. That's the essence of doing highlight and contouring. So you can already see the low light popping already. Yeah, so and I'm going over to contour her nose as well. I don't know, for some weird reason, whenever I say contour and I'm doing the darker shade part of it, I'm forced to still say low light, because contour is basically highlight and low light. Low light, the darker part of contour, and highlight, the lighter part of contour. That's areas where you want to be slightly darker than the person's shade. That's for low light. Then highlight, areas where you want to be lighter than the person's shade. Yeah, so that's it. Basically, there we just did our reverse contour, and you can see her, she already looks sculpted. Okay, here, so this is, I've been doing this hack for the longest. That's using my eye magic palette as my eyeshadow base, especially when I'm working with shimmery eyes. When I'm on just rare occasions when I'm doing matte eyeshadows, that I still use this as a base. And when I do this, it's especially if I don't want the matte shadows to be too bright, then I'll use this as my base. But if I want the eyeshadow that I'm doing, that's the matte one, to be really pronounced, I would use an eyeshadow base, which is the Benign. Is it Benign? Yeah, I've forgotten the name. It's been long I used it. It's white in color. So here I'm just going over with the eyeshadow that I intended to use, and it's from Huda Beauty. Huda Beauty is one of the best eyeshadow when it comes to shimmery eyeshadows. Like, a little just goes a long way. So you can see how I'm just applying it on the eyeshadow base, and it's already looking nice. I mean, you sometimes if you don't want to go, if you don't want your eyes to like be so what's the word, like obvious, you can actually just go like this, like just apply your eyeshadow in moderation just like this, and you're good to go. But if you want that extra shine on your eyes, you can now like go over with your glitters or pigments, you know. So here I'm applying the eyeshadow, and I'm blending it immediately, like I'm not giving room for any harsh lines. Then here I went in with a fluffy brush, and I'm using my orange eyeshadow color from 3502 Morphe, and doing same thing here. For this I just went in with a darker shade. I went in with a darker shade eyeshadow just to give more depth at the outer area, you know. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side, and it just gives the eye, that's the middle part, just allows the middle parts pop out, you know. So for this you just add as much as you want depending on how dark you want that area to be. As you can actually also skip this part, you don't have to if you don't want to, but I wanted to, and I did, and I really liked it. So here I'm going back with my the first, or rather the second brush that I used. I had the orange just to soften out the eyeshadow, like blend everything together so you're not seeing any harsh line. And it's very important that you actually just use a lighter shade eyeshadow, probably like orange, at the top part, you know. It just gives that warmth around the eyes. So for extra shine, I just tapped in my pigment. I'd already applied the glue, so don't think that I was just applying the pigment like that. I hear some people use their pigment like that without glue. I don't know how that works, but I've never had to apply my pigment directly without glue, except for loose highlighter. But that one I spray my setting spray with it, and apply on the eyeshadow area. That's the only one I know I've tried. So here I'm using my, let's call it my, because I am in love with this palette. That's the Juvia's Palettes Volume 1 blush. You know, it's beautiful, and I'm sure that most people who follow me or who've been watching my channel, you probably might have bought it already. It's amazing, and it's not so expensive. You know, you can just buy it, like it's not as expensive as NARS and the other high-end brand, and it would actually give you value for your money. It's beautiful, really beautiful. So that's like part of my holy grail, and it cannot be found missing. Like there's no way that I would go for a job and will be looking for this particular blush. If not, my team will cry. We'll all cry together. So here I'm using blot highlighter. So guys, I don't know what blots did, but you see their highlighters. Ah, God, it is beautiful. For me, I don't like so much highlights. For me, a little goes a long way. I don't do the blinding highlight, except my client wants it. And as God will have it, most of my clients, they, they don't even like the highlights so much. So that's the thing about this artistry. When you've been able to create a niche for yourself, you tend to draw people who like your style of makeup, or who your style of makeup is their niche. You understand? So here I'm just using setting spray, and this one is from Milani. It's another beautiful brand. Milani products, you know, they are good. We started off this makeup artistry with Milani, so I still have a lot of their products that I still use that are really nice. And see how that spray just melts everything together, and you can tell that my client was feeling herself. So here, I already did the brown lips of the camera. So if you have any brown lip liner pencil, you could use first to outline her lips. Here I'm just going in with a lip balm just to prep the lips for the lipstick that I was going to use. So here I'm using the cherry blossom, yeah, cherry blossom lip stain. I can't remember the shade, but it's the burgundy. Is it burgundy or Oz blood one? It's red, but it's a darker shade of red. Yeah, so I just applied it everywhere around her lip, and I still went over to use a lighter shade of red. I think so. I don't know if it was captured here, but I think I did. So yeah, this was the look the client was going for. Anyway, she showed me what she wanted, and I just followed accordingly to. I just did what I know would, give us that look, and it really did give it really beautiful. I actually enjoyed doing this makeup. I think that was why I thought to record it, and here's the final look. Beautiful, straight out from the camera. I didn't add extra lashes, although at later on I actually thought I should have added some more lashes, but she didn't want anything so heavy. She wanted us to work with her false lashes she already used. That's lash extension. Kudos to the photographer. I mean, he did an amazing job. Like, everything just came out really nice. What do you guys think about the picture? Do you like it as much as I did? Please like, share, comment, and subscribe to my channel. See you on our next video. Bye. Thank you. Love you.